everybody, it is Matt. I am back again. This time I just want to talk about something near and dear to my heart. Healing. We talk about healing, and I think some of us just like throw it around really callously and be like, oh, I'm going to heal. I'm going to do whatever. It's going to take me some time. Or we put a time limit on healing and hope that the healing time limit works with our busy schedule. In all honesty, healing happens when it happens. You can't put a time frame on it. You can't just say, I'm going to take this amount of time and heal, or I'm going to go through something that's going to take me a specific amount of time. It happens when it happens, and you can't rush it, and it is not linear. If it takes a month, it takes a month. If it takes a week, it takes a week. If it takes a year, it takes a year. You also have to be willing to go through that process. I mean, whether or not you're on a spiritual path or not, you have to be willing to go from point A to point B and see it through. And if that means acknowledging that you need to heal from something in your past and taking the time that it's going to take and going through everything that you need to go through, the hurt, the pain, the enlightenment, the clarity, and then being triggered again and going deep down into it, that's what you need to do, because you cannot put a time limit and say, I'm going to take this amount of time and heal. It's going to take me this amount of time, because it may not take this amount of time. It may take forever. But the moment you say, I will take the weekend, or it's taken me this amount of time, why is it taking so long? Because you're putting a time limit on it. The understanding is that it takes as long as it takes, and you just need to go through the process. There is not a time limit on it. It's as long as it takes for you to forgive yourself and to forgive the stimulus, and to understand that the process doesn't finish until you feel good. And I also think that in conjunction with that, the moment that we stop blaming others for the way that we feel and the stimulus and how we react is the moment that we truly decide that we're going to heal. Because yes, it is so easy to blame others for your reaction, blame others for how you feel, to blame others for reactions that trigger you. But what makes more sense? Somebody else who doesn't know that they're triggering you doing something, or you taking responsibility for the actions that are currently happening. You taking responsibility for the triggers that you're feeling, the feelings that are deep inside of you that you know you need to relinquish, that you know you need to deal with. So why are you going to subvert that process and keep on saying it's somebody else's fault? It has nothing to do with me. It's somebody else. Somebody else is responsible for this chunk of emotion that I'm holding deep within inside of myself, and I'm going to hold on to forever because something happened to me when I was a child or 10 years ago. And it's somebody else's fault. So it will continue to be somebody else's fault. Yet, if you're on this healing path and you're on this in this process of trying to heal, why are you going to subvert that whole idea and say, it's not me, it's somebody else? That's not healing, that's passing the buck, and you're never going to get over the whole idea of being truly healed. What you need to do is take responsibility for the actions, the feelings, the triggers. Figure out why they keep coming back. Figure out how to heal yourself from those triggers, from that feeling. Figure out why it keeps happening. Go to the root problem. Go to the root cause. And deal with it effectively. That is the true start of healing. When you take responsibility for your own actions, for your own feelings, for everything that's happening around you, and going, this is why I feel this way, and maybe it's not the right way to feel, and maybe I should figure out a better way. That is true healing. Once you stop blaming other people for your current predicament, for how you react, that's when you take responsibility, and that's when the responsibility flows outward, and you truly understand what you're meant to do and why you need to heal from certain things. I hope that helped. It was just a thought, but it's become evident, especially for me over the past few months, weeks, years, that a while ago I was blaming everybody else. I was blaming everybody for how I felt. I was putting the problem squarely in somebody else's hands or other people's hands, and realizing that I was putting it on them of why I felt a certain way. And the moment that I took responsibility for the way I felt was the moment that I could figure out why and what caused this reaction. And that doesn't mean that sometimes you still don't feel a certain way. It just means that, okay, I have something that is happening. I have to figure out why, but it is not because of a person, a place, a thing, or a stimulus. It is from and for me, and I have to deal with this on my own. Hopefully that helped. It just something I wanted to get off my mind really quick. I hope you're all doing good. And I love you all. Peace.